Hey everyone, Anime Fiend here, and today we're diving into Go Go Loser Ranger, one of the freshest and most submersive takes on the Sentai hero genre in years. While at first glance it may look like your standard color coded heroes versus evil monster story, Loser Ranger takes everything we think we know about the tokusatsu and flips it on its head. From the structure of the Rangers organization, to the treatment of the villains, to the moral gray areas hiding behind the scenes. Let's break down how this series redefines what it means to be a hero and why Go Go Loser Ranger is one of the smartest deconstructions of the genre since One Punch Man or Love After World Domination. 13 years before the events of the series, the Monster Army invaded Earth. Within a year, the Dragon Keepers, a Sentai style squad of 5 heroes, supposedly defeated the boss monsters and restored peace. But things aren't what they seem. In reality, the remnants of the monster army, now called Dusters, are being forced to reenact fake battles every Sunday to keep up with the illusions that the Rangers are still humanity's saviors. These monsters can regenerate endlessly, turning to dust when defeated, but they can only be truly killed by the divine artifacts. Among these so-called villains is our protagonist, Fighter D, a low-ranking soldier who decides he has had enough of the charades and sets out to destroy the corrupt system from within. Unlike most Sentai teams that focus on 5 core heroes, Loser Ranger expands the idea into a massive military-like organization with 5 squadrons, each with specialized roles. Red Squadron, the vanguard, they handle large-scale operations and direct combat against the invaders. They're the face of the Ranger Corps and the most brutal. Blue Squadron, strategists and trainers, they plan operations, train new recruits, and even monitor the dustards to keep them in line. Yellow Squadron, the scientists, they research captured monsters and develop the Rangers' weapons and gadgets. Green Squadron, officially a stealth and covert ops unit, but secretly tasked with hunting down the surviving boss monsters. Pink Squadron supposedly handles logistics and support, but in reality, they specialize in suppressing information, covering up Ranger crimes, and even carrying out assassinations through a covert team known as Kuroko. This structure is fascinating because it frames the Sentai troop into something more akin to a totalitarian military organization, complete with propaganda, secrets, and dirty operations. So far, we've met 3 surviving boss monsters: Peltrola, representing the rooster, Magatia, representing the serpent, and Walipon, representing the horse, all themed after the Chinese zodiac. Originally, there were 12, but 7 were exterminated during the war. Meanwhile, on the human side, we're introduced to the Invader Rights Association, a group that believes the Rangers are corrupt and that the invaders deserve equal rights. Their leader, Yakushi Usukubo, even creates a serum capable of turning ordinary people into boss monsters. What starts as activism quickly turns into a dangerous rebellion that blurs the line between justice and fanaticism. Sentai fans love their flashy weapons, and Lucer Ranger delivers, but with a dark twist. Dragon gadgets. Created by the Yellow Squadron, these can function as both an energy sword and a blaster. Recruiters even developed a burst form, bursting power output at the cost of stability and limited uses. Divine tools, the ultimate weapon used by the 5 keepers, each named after deities and capable of elemental powers. They take the form of swords, lances, bows, and hammers, and they're the only weapons that can truly kill a duster. Divine tool replicas. Used by the Elite Rangers, these are modified versions with unique, often terrifying abilities. For example, Canon Hisui's tool is a mouthpiece that lets her devour anything, while Yumiko Susukiri's remote control can stop, rewind, and slow down time for objects or people. This variety of weapons show how Loser Ranger builds on the Sentai formula but grounds itself in a darker, more militarized reality. Once you realize the Sunday battles are staged, Go Go Loser Ranger becomes less about heroes versus villains and more about control, image, and deception. The Keepers force the Dusters to participate in fake fights to maintain public morale. When Fire D rebels, we see just how far the Red and Blue Keepers will go to preserve their perfect image, even killing anyone who threatens to expose them. The Red Keeper, in particular, embodies this corruption. Behind his heroic smile lies a sadistic, power hungry man who brutally murders subordinates just to keep his authority intact. He is the ultimate reflection of the hero archetype gone rotten. Fighter D's rebellion begins with the Bailong exam, a ranger recruitment test. His goal: infiltrate the organization and destroy it from within. Disguised as a human recruit named Hibiki, he meets allies like Yumeko and Angel Usukubo who discover his true identity but choose to help him. Through their cooperation, he infiltrates deeper into the ranger system, even stealing the Red Keeper's divine weapon. However, during one mission, Fighter D encounters the resurrected Peltrola and realizes the boss monsters are just as manipulative as the Keepers. Betrayed by both sides, he decides to carve his own path, one where he can finally bring down the entire corrupt system. After passing the exam, Fighter D is assigned to the Green Squadron alongside Angel Usukubo. Initially, the mission seemed meaningless until they investigate a series of student disappearances linked to a group called Ouroboros. The mission reveals the Green Squadron's real purpose: exterminating the remaining boss monsters. During their investigation, they encounter Magatia, who traps them in a looping illusion. It's only through teamwork between Fighter D, the Greenkeeper, and Hisui that they manage to break free and defeat him. Another huge step forward in Fighter D's rebellion. One of the best parts of Go Go Loser Ranger is its complex cast of allies. Support Fighter D because they believe he is his ideals, while others just hate the Keeper's hypocrisy. What's fascinating is how the show constantly flips our perceptions. The supposed heroes act like tyrants, while the so called villains somehow have empathy, doubt, and compassion. Every episode challenges the audience to question what heroism really means and whether justice built on lies is justice at all. If Gogo Loser Ranger teaches us anything, it's that appearances can be deceiving. The show's genius lies in how it deconstructs the Sentai genre, revealing the ugly politics, corruption, and propaganda hiding behind the flashy costumes and heroic speeches. When the Red Keeper silences dissent to protect his image, or Fighter D saves someone he's supposed to hate, the series reminds us that morality isn't black and white. At its core, Loser Ranger asks one simple but powerful question: what if the villains were the only ones brave enough to tell the truth? Anyway, those are my thoughts on Go Go Loser Ranger. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments.